The website is a monologue. It's just you talking, blah, 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 blah. People read it, they understand it, they tune out. If you can get them engaged in a conversation through the social networks, you're going to keep them engaged, you're going to learn a lot. So monitor your brand. I'll tell you a little story about some things that I learned that will shed some light on this and give you maybe one reason why you want to do this. My brand is Jeff Korhan, which also happens to be my name. And it happens to be a name that I share with people in my family. So once in a while, I get some information that comes to me from my kids and things that are being said about them on the social networks. So recently, my daughter Allie was mentioned in a conversation on Facebook. A couple of interesting things about this. Number one, the conversation happened 2 years ago when she was in high school. She's in college now. And that's significant because only recently has Google been able to index that type of information, what people are calling the wisdom of friends. The wisdom of friends are those conversations that are happening on Facebook. That's where you're getting the unpolished gems, the real conversations that we would have in private as opposed to the stuff that people would tend to say more publicly. This is what the corporations are trying to tap into. What are people really saying about that automobile and how they like it and if they like it and what they would like to see next? This is the goal. This is why, if you didn't know this, Microsoft is part owner of Facebook. And they don't want Google to have that information because they have their own search engines. So this is what some of us are calling the Great Wall of Facebook. They're trying to keep Google out, but Google has been able to tap into that using anything that is linked. And how do things get links? If you put a link in, for example, to an outside website, or if you engage in any of these, I'll call them games, I don't use them, but things like Farmville, if you're familiar with that, these open up your Facebook account to all kinds of other sources. Well, that's evidently what happened in this situation. And it was a very benign conversation. It was actually very positive. And Allie's boyfriend happened to mention her name in response to the question, who would you like to see make a comment on your wall, which is where you post information in Facebook? And he mentioned Allie's name. And it was all positive. But here's what's most significant. Allie was not in this conversation. She was just mentioned. So what does this mean for the people that say, look, I don't believe in this Facebook stuff. I don't believe in this social media stuff. I'm not going to do this. I've run my business very well for 30 years without using it. I can go 10 more. If you have friends, and they're on Facebook, and we all have friends, and you get mentioned, you're now on Facebook. So the truth is, you are all on social media, whether you know it or not. Somebody is going to eventually mention your company's name. This is why you're monitoring this presence. So you can have fragments of information about you out there on the web, or you can be proactive and build a mass of positive information that speaks well for you. This is where the blog comes in. This is why blogs are incredibly powerful, in addition to some other reasons, and why they will eventually replace websites.